Hello everyone, myself Swati Jayavant Kokate from Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School. Students, today we are going to learn a new lesson of class 8 civics, that is lesson number 10, law and social justice. Students, what do you understand by the name of the lesson, that is law and social justice? You will come to know that something it is related about laws which were made by the government or which are followed or not by the society, and whether these laws are justifying the society or no, isn't it? So, in the chain of production or in the chain of what we can markets, which links are there? Right from producer to the consumer, isn't it? Many people are related directly or indirectly in this chain, right from you can say producer, wholesaler, retailer, then the consumer. Only these are not there. Many of the transport comes, isn't it? So many workers come. So many are related here in the chain of production in the market. So we are going to see whether the law, okay, these laws which were implemented and which are followed or not, and whether they are justified by everyone in the society. So do you remember the lesson of class 7th, that is story of a shirt? Yeah, recalled? It was a story of shirt, and we saw that there were many in the chain of markets, the links were there, that is producer of the cotton, right from producer, isn't it? Without cotton, can you make the thread or the whatever cloth is required? No. So, right from producer of cotton to the buyer of the shirt in the supermarket, buying and selling was taking place at each and every step of this chain, isn't it? So many people were, as I told you, directly or indirectly they were involved in the production of this shirt. The small farmer producing cotton, the weavers of Erode, here it is, Erode is a city, or the workers in the garments, exporting factory faced exploitations or an unfair treatment situation in the market, and markets everywhere tend to be exploitative of people, whether as workers, consumers or producers. See, don't get confused children, here what they want to say that at this chain or at any stage, even the farmer may be exploited, the weavers or the factory producer, or even the consumer also may be exploited if there are no rules or if there are no laws. For let me tell you one example. Suppose the production or the cost of a thing, okay, take a product, you may take a pen, okay. So if the cost of that pen to produce it requires suppose 5 rupees, and the producer he is selling the pen for more than 50 rupees, then it will be the exploitation of the consumer, isn't it? He is producing only for 5 rupees and he is taking more advantage or more profit, giving it at more rate to the wholesaler, then the wholesaler will give it to the in more rate to the retailer. Like this the chain continues, and who is exploited here? Directly the consumer is getting exploited because he wants to pay more and more as compared to the production cost, isn't it? So there should be profit margin, isn't it? So if the producer is producing anything, something, a product, obviously there should be profit but not exploitation. Understood with this example that here laws are made, okay. So to each and every one of this chain of the market to stop the exploitation of even farmers, or we have seen in many lessons of the histories that how the Britishers, they were exploiting the farmers, isn't it? They were taking each and every raw material, cotton or whatever produce of the field was there, they were taking at a very cheap rate, very low cost. They were taking it to their market to produce the final product, and afterwards they were again selling the same product at a very high rate, high price. And who was exploited? The farmer was exploited, even the consumers were exploited, because they were getting at a very high rate, isn't it, high price. So like this, everyone's interest should be, we can say their interest should be, should not be exploited, fine. So to protect people from such exploitations, the government makes certain laws, and these laws try to ensure that there should not be unfair practices, and they should be kept at a minimum in the markets. If if any exploitation starts, it should be minimized at a very early stage, means it should not be, you can say, tolerated by each and every people and the law as well. So here is a picture that you can see, these workers are working for the community, or so poor they are, and here you can see so many tall skyscraper buildings are there. We can see, means some people are so rich that they have these offices, or in these cities also we have these laborers who even don't have their minimum requirements of food, clothing as well as shelter. So let us take a common market situation where the law is very important. Here we will see this issue of workers' wages. So there are private companies, contractors, business persons, normally they want to make much profit, isn't it? Whenever the thing comes business or private companies, everyone wants to make profit, much and much profit as they can. But in this drive for profit, so in this chain, means in this drive to earn more profit, it should be seen that they should not deny the workers their right and not pay them wages. For example, now suppose they want to make profit and these companies are not giving proper wages to the workers and they are deducting their wages, then it will be what it will be? Yes, it will be against the law. See, the profit margin these people want to increase, but what they should do, they should focus on the quality of the product. They should think on other aspects, advertisements and all for earning profit. But here if they cut off the wages of the workers and they add it in their profit margin, what is the use? The workers will be exploited, they will be not happy to work for the company. Also they have to struggle a lot for their basic needs, as I told you, even food, clothing and shelter, and there will be disputes among the company holder or the company owner and the obviously who? The workers, isn't it? Because they are working for too many hours for the company, but the company owner is not at all giving them proper wages. So in the eyes of the law, it is legally illegal or wrong to deny workers to pay wages, and similarly to ensure that workers are not underpaid. Underpaid means see, suppose they there is a fixed amount, okay, and if some company, private company is not paying that much and it is giving very less amount as compared to other companies, then it will be called as underpaid, and they are paid fairly. There is a law on minimum wages also. So here the law is made that what should be the minimum wages, and they should not, the private companies or contractors, they should not give under that amount whatever is told, and also this amount is revised every few years. If see, you can see the rates of or the prices of each and everything goes on increasing day by day, and if the wages are kept at the same level or at the same amount, how can they satisfy or how can they fulfill their needs if the rates or the prices of each and every product is increasing day by day. So, there is a proper revision, revised upwards every year, and a worker has to be paid not less than that minimum wages by the employer, which is fixed in the law of minimum wages. For example, if the minimum wages fixed by the law is that the wages should be given to each and every worker at a rate of suppose we can say, for example, it is example 8,000. So, if the company is giving 7,000, then the law takes an action against the employer that minimum at least these wages are to be given every month, I will tell. So, like this means just example I gave, if there is no proper given limit, then there is a chance of exploitation of the workers. And we can see there is also revision or the revised, means there are changes upwards every few years. As with the law of minimum wages, which is meant to be protected, which is meant to protect the workers, there are also laws that protects the interest of producers. Okay, this was the case of how it protects the whom we have seen? Yes, the workers. Now, there are also laws which protects the interest of even producers, consumers in the market. So, let us see what it consists now. This helps, what is the interest or what is the reason behind it? It helps to ensure that the relation between these three parties, which are these parties? The worker, consumer and the producer, are governed in a manner that is not exploitative. So, here everyone's interest should be focused on, means it should not take any one side and work on it. So, everyone's should be focused on, like the workers, consumers as well as the producers. So, there will be no exploitation, also there will be very proper administration in the market. So, here workers in a textile mill in Ahmedabad faced with greater competition from power looms. See here, these are the power looms, and the majority of the textile mills closed during 1980s to 1990s, and these power looms are small units with 4 to 6 looms, and these owners operate them with hired and family laborer. Also, it is well known that the condition of the worker in the power looms are far from satisfactory. So, here is the picture that these are the workers, okay, and they had to face a great competition for the produce of these things. So, majority of these textile mills were closed during the 1980s and 1990s. So, what will be there? Unemployment, isn't it? If the looms are only, textiles are only closed where hundreds and thousands of people work, you can see here. So, what will happen? The owner will operate or the others at a very at a very low rate, and this condition of workers you can see, that is, these are not satisfactory. So, here a table is given which provides some important laws to protect these laws of various interests. So, column 2 and 3, in the table 1 it is stated that why or for whom the law is necessary, here in the column 1. Now, suppose for example, Minimum Wages Act specified the wages should be not below a specified minimum rate or minimum amount, okay. So, why is it necessary? We had seen. So, this is one law, it is passed or it is made. Then why is it necessary? We can tell, you can answer it, children. So, to many workers may be denied fair wages, that you will get this much only and above that we will not pay, the owner may say. So the worker will understand that at least this much wages they should pay, and it is the act passed by them. So the worker can understand that the owner is exploiting, and because they badly need work, workers have no bargaining power and are paid low wages. So why is it necessary? Because there is unemployment and they are so poor that when they take daily wages, they will bring food for their children. Even education is not given for their children, isn't it? So house, even these basic needs to satisfy, they have to struggle a lot. They have to, so they will not bargain. Whatever the amount is paid, they will try to live or adjust with whatever amount is given. So this is necessary. And whose interest does the law protect? Come to table number 3. This law is meant to protect the interest of all workers. So which workers it may come? Farm laborers, construction workers, factory workers, domestic workers, etc. So this law can protect the interest of these people. So here you can go through the different aspects which laws are made, and you can write with the pencil in your textbook, page number 122. Why is it necessary? Why do you feel it necessary? Some points, point wise you can make 2-3 points. Also you can write in column number 3 in this table that whose interest does this law protect. So you can write it with the pencil. And also we are going to see that these laws making is not enough. So many times we see that okay, these laws are made. You will feel the table also, children, that because of these laws these things will be satisfied and these interest of these people will be done, isn't it? But whether making these laws is enough, whether the government is ensuring that these laws are implemented, isn't it? So this means that the law must be enforced. Enforce means implemented. See, these producers, if they are told to give this much wages, they will not be ready, isn't it? So they should be enforced to follow these laws. So whether they are implementing, enforcing these activities, these laws becomes very important in the case when it comes to the protection of weak people from the strong, isn't it? See, these workers, they are very poor and they don't have enough money or whatever things are needed to even the educate, they are not much educated to know all these things. So many times it may happen that these laws should be implemented, enforced to the company, and it should be seen that they are implemented or no when it comes to the point of protection of the weaker people, weaker side of the society from the strong, economically, socially also, isn't it? So it should be seen that whether the government is seeing all these things, that whether these people are getting protected due to these laws or no, or any loopholes these people are finding to run away from these laws and not following the whatever activities are told. So for instance, ensure that every workers get fair wages. The government has to regularly inspect work sites and punish those who violate these laws. So we can see, for example, just for instance, take a look here, that if the workers, they are getting fair wages and the government has to go regularly and inspect on the working site. Also, if they should ask the workers to show their receipts, whatever the amounts they are getting, whether they are signing on their sheets or no, and if the company is not following the rules, it should be punished if they are violating these laws. So when the workers are poor or they are powerless, the fear of losing future earnings or facing reprisals often forces them to accept low wages. So they think that if we will complain these things against the management or against the, you can say, producer or the employer, he may or the company may file or it may remove us from our work, isn't it? So whatever the conditions are there, they are ready to work upon it. Employers know this well. Employers also know that they are in need of work and they will not go till the law against filing a case against them, and use their power to pay workers less than the fair wages. Fair means whatever minimum at least wages are there. In such cases, it is crucial that laws are enforced. So here we can see the government should inspect the work sites and whether it is followed or no by each and every person. Through making, enforcing and upholding these laws, the government can control the activities of the individuals or the private companies, as we are going to ensure social justice. So what happens? This social justice should be equal to each and everyone. So through this making this and also enforcing and also making them compulsory and upholding these laws, we can see that the government can control the activities of individuals and the private companies also. So many of these laws have their basic fundamental basis on in the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Indian constitutions. For instance, we can see the example that the right against exploitation says that no one can be forced to work for low wages or under bondage. That we have seen that low wages, under that no one should be forced. Similarly, the constitution law also says that no child below the age of 14 years shall be allowed to employ or to work in a factory or mines or engaged in any other hazardous employment, isn't it? So we have seen, isn't it, that child should not be allowed to work under the age of 14 years, and if the employer makes him work in the factory or mines or engaged in any difficult work employment, he will be punished. So this is the law passed in the favor of or in the, you can say, interest of a child. So how are these laws played out in practice? To what extent does this address the concern of the social justice? Whether this is a question that this chapter will now go on to explore. So according to the 2011 census, according to their study of this 2011, they have seen that there was a data that over 4 million of children in India who were below the age of 5 to 14 years, they worked in a various occupations, including very difficult tasks, hazardous ones. In 2016, Parliament amended the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, they banned the employment of children, those who were below the age of 14, in all occupations, and of adolescents, that is the 14 to 18 years, in occupations and difficult occupations, hazardous occupations which are risky for their life, and it made employing these children must be penalized. If anyone is employing these children, they will be punished, ranging from a jail. So what act was passed? If anyone does this, they will be jailed for a term of 6 months to 2 years and or fine of 20,000 to 50,000 rupees. So the central government has asked state governments to develop plans to rescue and rehabilitate children who are working. So why these children will work? Because they are having very poor conditions. So the central government has asked state governments to make some plans to rescue these children, and also rehabilitate means to, if they are having any difficulties or any economic problems for going to schools and all, so this plan should be made that they will recover or they will come out from these situations and they will be helped under it. An online portal platform for effective enforcement for no child labor has become functional in 2017. It is meant for filing of complaints, so child tracking, implementation and monitoring of National Child Labor Project. So like this we have seen in many places, we have seen there is child labor, and so this act is passed against in the interest of children, that they should not be made to work under the age of 14. So in the next lecture we are going to see what is Bhopal gas tragedy. In this we are going to see that how the world's worst industrial tragedy was there, and there was an incident which took place in Bhopal in 24 years ago, and there was a Union Carbide, this is Union Carbide, it is an American company and had a factory in the city in which it produced pesticides, children, fine. So let us see that how it took place, whether it was an accident or whether what things should be applicable, or what were we can say expected from the company to do these all things. So we are going to see that what is Bhopal gas tragedy and when it was. So in the next lecture we will see that what is Bhopal gas tragedy. Then today we have seen that there was a what is law and justice, we have seen. Then how the table or which things it makes necessary to see that table 1 law, why it is necessary and with whose interest it is done. Then we have seen which acts are passed by the government to hold the things, means to uphold or to take the decisions, quick decisions, as well as to face the problems whatever are followed, or which if they are not followed by, these laws are not followed by the people. Then we are going to see that the world's worst industrial tragedy and which had took place in Bhopal, I had told you 24 years ago, and this Union Carbide, and this is an American company, and it had a factory in the city which it produced pesticides. What are pesticides? The acid or whatever chemical composition is there, and which we used in the farms or for the plants, or even the pests, to control pests on it, isn't it? Also we use this in the many of the houses to control the pests. So all these things, what is the Bhopal gas tragedy and all. So we are going to see in the next children. Thank you children.